But we're in the match now. So
Yeah, where the match started. That's good.
so Sedgehun in the red on player 1 playing Sedge, which he hasn't always been playing Sedge, so I do feel there is a bit of a need to like actually state which commander he's
Ooh,
playing.
you're seeing vertical barge. This is not good. Now you can hard counter this by rushing a sword.
And in player 2 side, in the blue, we have Alsame playing Ragna. So what is Alsame gonna do? Just leaves the barge where it is.
That's I don't know why he left the barge where it is. He could have moved it next to the tower, and still moved Ragna into an aggressive position. But I don't know. Alsami likes his unorthodox openings a lot of the time. But yeah, Sedge is just he's not gonna get the top of the village. Alsami will be faster.
And Ragna... Sometimes you'll see the sword capture that, right? And then Ragna will heal off of it.
Usually usually you send the commander via the barge because you want it so it's more aggressive. You get groove. You heal while attacking. Yeah, usually you have the sword capturing the village and then capturing more stuff because it lines up really well. Also, Alsaya making a mistake. She didn't barge the sword over. So now he can actually lose the top left village. So I don't really know what's going on with his opening. Maybe he's playing it like he would the 1.1 version, but
Maybe.
that's not required anymore.
And I see Burke in chat saying he might not even go for the corner village. But I don't really know what he would go for. Like, I guess he could just propel those two swords forward.
Yeah.
Just ignore the corner and have a very, very aggressive push
Just
on the
like
north.
a income deficit. And like if you want it to be aggressive, you bring the commander over and heal, like that kind of standard stuff.
I guess this way it offers the option to capture that village on the road with the sword, like depending on how he does it, and then healing Ragna with that.
The point normally when you like play this with a horizontal is you do that anyways. Like that's you send over Cohen's sword, and then you capture the village with the sword, and then you heal Ragna. But you're doing it earlier.
Okay, I'm very confused right now. Goes for the tower. Okay, that's fair enough, but how is he going to use this barge and with this sword?
But yeah, I really don't like what he's doing. And like the way this map works, like it's not easy to get like an advantage. But like if you get an advantage, it can be really hard to come back. Depending on like if you take control of certain like village. In this case, he's probably just losing the corner village, so that's just like a lot of money that he could have been getting. Since he only equalizes when he gets the other corner village.
Yeah, so he is going to go. So we're seeing vertical barge after
Yeah,
all
I
of the
said we're not
effort.
gonna. I said we're not gonna get it because it doesn't work, but they do it anyway. Also, Alsami just kind of wasted time with his barge, like it didn't do anything, and then only now he's sending it vertically. So his opening is really it's a bit of a tire fire, I think.
But He isn't super far behind at the moment, so it's not really like the end of the world.
Yeah, he's not gonna lose the game off this, but he's gonna be a bit uncomfortable. And like Sedge lined his stuff up a bit better. He's got like a 80 health Sedge or 85 health Sedge now. Meanwhile, Ragna has no good way to heal unless she wants to like stare at Sedge, which actually isn't very good for you. Like if you do Co versus Co here, you really get run over on the other side. Like already, I really don't like this.
I see Knight coming out. That's going to offer a lot of threat on that south front. So Sedge is going to have a Knight supporting him. So if Ragna does go south, she's like facing some pretty heavy hitting units.
I would have actually liked that knight more north because there's that village at the very north, the pre-owned one, that he could have tried to pick off, since none of Alsame's units are in a position to. And that village is like really annoying to like take over, to recap. So like he gets that village, he's not gonna lose it. And Alsame again playing the opening fairly slowly. Like he's already used over 2 minutes and he's on turn 4.
Yeah, this feels a bit like they haven't, or Alsame just didn't really expect this map to get picked. And didn't have quite the preparation quite down. Just using that barge kind of like timidly, although it does line up to pick up a unit from the beach.
Yeah, because it doesn't. There's no like time difference. It'll get to the corner island at the same time. Ooh, he's
Oh,
going for a trap.
this is interesting.
So I guess this is what he wanted to do, maybe, or maybe this is just a moment of the, just a like a decision he made on the moment.
Yeah, like very much oh snap, what am I gonna do now? He's like, well, I'll build a trebuchet.
But this is not Trebuchet isn't very good this early. Like me and Loveless were doing some testing, and it does work under like certain circumstances, but not with the way Sedgehun is open.
Yeah, there isn't really much to wall against it.
Also, he didn't, because he built the Treb, he couldn't heal Ragna as much, so Sedge can get a lot of pressure, and he doesn't have to be concerned. And now Sedge takes that very important northern village. Like it's really important because it's just like impossible to recapture, because the barge comes in and then blocks, and it's really hard.
Oh, and you can only attack it from the beach, right? So
Yeah. Then suddenly you can get reinforcements in, and
actually the barge could just sweep around and surround whatever attacks it. So
yeah. Like it's really hard to take that village normally, but if you give it up, then it's really hard to get it back. So it's all really bad.
yeah, well, I guess like if there's a unit that could take it back, it'll be a trebuchet. So
You can really get your trebuchet all the way over there. The way Alsame is setting this up, he wants his trebuchet in the south.
that's true. And actually, he'll have a spear to come down with it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe this is like, I don't know if this is prepared or not, but it's definitely, there's like things lining up here. Even if I don't think they're particularly great options. But we'll see. I mean, having a trebuchet is...
Plus, if he was really confident in early treb, like he had something prepared, he would have went Tenri, assuming she wasn't banned, instead of Ragna.
I don't actually know what the commander bans were for this though, so maybe Tenri was banned.
And like, even if Tenri was banned, you'd even want to do maybe Valder, because you can do one front with Valder and like get value, and then the trebuchet comes in on the other front.
Yeah, or you build like a big army of swords using Valder. I guess like one option available here is like you line up a trebuchet so it can hit the headquarters, for example, and then like Ragna jump on. Or something along those lines, but yeah, I don't really know. Something interesting here is, let's say... Oh, you could surround Sedge. In theory. I don't know how good it is in practice.
He
Actually,
always
no, let's
escapes. He's got the village to go through.
Oh yeah, he's got the village to go through.
There's
Also,
nothing
the
to be
night
scared.
crit is lined up to kill anything
Yeah,
on the left.
night crit.
I guess, oh, the other option is like, let's say you heal Ragnar and attack Sedge from the top. The trebuchet could be put in a position where it covers. I think so anyway. Go there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it
The
doesn't.
trebuchet covers Ragna from like this spot, but
Yeah. Or like one spot to the left, but yeah, she can't, it
Yeah.
won't cover. That's a shame.
this is like really bad because Alsame is gonna be really bled dry from income. Like it's already 1,300 to 1,000, and he's not capping more villages because he sent commander to the south. Those two north villages are gonna belong to, which is gonna give him a 500 income lead,
Ooh,
which is
yeah, that
really
is rough.
crushing.
Yeah.
He's really not played the opening stages of the last two games well. Or like last game, it was a bit later, but
Yeah, he's 300 income behind and he doesn't really have the means to change that. Okay, so
I think Sedge can just kill the sword.
yeah, it does put him on a beach though. Alright, we're seeing Trebuchet move. Alsame, 7 minutes on turn 5.
That's a ton of time.
That does come out
That's-
though.
That's the other thing. If you prepare for this, you're not spending 7 minutes for the first 5 turns.
Yeah, that's true.
And even if you're not prepared, you can wing your opening much quicker.
Okay, this south side's looking fairly reinforced though. Like the Trebuchet is going to be able to slow march forward. He's giving up the north, but he is eventually going... Actually, the next turn he can get a sword onto that island, right? So...
Yeah, so he gets back a little bit. I think Sedge can. I think he can safely just take out the sword, build some groove, kill a unit.
Yeah, the mage can't get around to the forest on the other side, so... There's no mage crit lined up if he goes for it. And you could even see something like maybe like a safety balloon come out, or... How much income does Sedge have right now? He's gonna have 1350 next turn.
He could build like a dragon, pressure the trebuchet. threaten more of the map. It also will stop Alsame from getting that corner village.
Yeah, that is true. Dragon could just run in, kill the sword, decap
Or
the
just
village.
decap the village, yeah.
Well, if he decaps the village, the sword just takes it again.
Yeah.
A fairly expensive way to use a dragon. Alright, just kills the sword because fairly easy option. He now has enough army on this side to take these villages safely, threaten other villages. That
Yeah.
42% village right now, the knight can decap that pretty safely. I guess a spear could come forward and threaten.
Yeah, but there's enough units to do with that spear. It's only one spear. And this is the problem when you send commander versus commander. The way it just works out, the opponent can push forward more. There's more areas that are vulnerable, and you can get pushed back less on the front where the two commanders. The only thing that I guess in Alsame's favor is that, like, if Sedge suddenly starts making mistakes, he can just kind of lose to the trebuchet marching to the HQ. But I think that's the only silver lining for now.
Yeah, like I think Alsame, I don't even think having the sword out that far was a good idea. It did prevent 2 village caps, but he's losing a unit for it. And like he just doesn't have a lot of army up north anymore.
Yeah. And he's not crushing the south either.
In theory, you could like reposition the Treb back to the north, but then you just invested all of that time and money into a unit that's just moving about defensively and not really
Yeah,
achieving
and
anything.
it's not gonna get into action until like a few turns come. So it doesn't help solve your problems. If you move it to the north, you're gonna have problems in the south because the knights can easily just reposition. Use of their mobility. I guess Sedge is calculating if he's safe if he kills the sword. I guess he's a bit unsure. It's the only major thing he's gotta move other than the other sword.
Yeah, I mean he could go for a safe play, like maybe just capture the village back. He has enough units around that... Oh no, he's gonna go for the mage. Interesting.
He's hitting the mage. That gives you. I guess that makes sense because the sword is a bit trapped.
Yeah, and
So
also...
you kind of get the sword anyway.
Oh yeah, actually he could move his own sword forward, yeah. I mean that actually doesn't cover...
So the point is just like you're maximizing. I guess so that's probably a bit better. Like maybe won't give you as much groove if he doesn't. Well, he'll probably be able to kill the sword anyways. So yeah, it's a bit better because you do like a good amount of gold damage. Because I'm assuming the mage moves back and heals. The sword dies because it's a bit trapped. But yeah, so the problem the trebuchet has also is it doesn't really have that much like defenders. Like this knight will kind of zone it a little.
Yeah, like he could get a spear in front technically, but the trap has to be in a fairly awkward position for that. Like it's not going to go as far forward as you'd like. So it's just going to take ages for that front to really form for Alsame. And it's already starting to crumble a little. Like the mage is really injured, the sword's out of position and like not on enough health to really do anything. I do wonder if there's some kind of lethal potential here.
On Sedge, not really.
He's on a
Like the
beach
lethal
which
potential
just...
is even less.
Like you've got a
Because he hit the-
sword crit. Ragna could be on potentially 90% health. Let's get the damage calculator out.
Like, assume Ragna does like 50, and the sword crit does like 30, which is very generous. That's 80. So then Sedge is like at 93. So then like uh you might kill.
The average
But
is 25. Bump you down to. Well, actually, I'll start with the 64%. So I'm gonna calculate this out. We're gonna see if this is a thing or not. Yeah, that sword isn't gonna be able to. Alright, just goes for the capture, so we're not gonna see any kind of lethal. I'm
yeah.
curious enough to see like if the calculation would work out.
Yeah, I'm double checking. It shouldn't, because sword crit deals like 20 average 24.75, so like 25. And the commander hit does 49, so that's like around 75. But then you still need 18 more damage, which the
Yeah.
sword hit doesn't give you. And
You would have to like think high roll all three.
yeah,
And that's like when I say high roll I mean you like we're talking like perfect maximum rolls.
so he's got like a kind of pseudo surround going. But actually, maybe Ragna is a bit dead. Because you have Night Crit, Sword to hit, and Sedge against 90%.
I actually like this surround a lot because let's
No,
say
Ragna looks fine.
yeah, like the only way Sedge escapes, alright, he's not gonna eat a Treb crit, but he is gonna eat some level of Treb, right?
Well, what Sedge should just do is just like take the Knight Crit the sword, and then Sedge kills the mage. And then he gets Groove, he kills 2 units, and then he can like damage the other sword. And there's no threat to Sedge because all there is Ragna and a damage.
Oh yeah, actually yeah.
And then he can send the other knight down if he wants, or he can decap the village. Over here, the north.
Balloon can go forward. Yeah, you could just reinforce that very heavily. Actually, not only Balloon can go forward, but Balloon Mage Dog can go forward. So you can reinforce this with like a lot of units. And have a mage on the front line to give him a heal next turn. And Alsame really thinking about this. And while this is all going on, I'm looking at the northern front.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
very
just
barren.
and
Like-
that's just what happens here.
Yeah, I think this early trebuchet play.
The early trebuchet and like commander meets commander just doesn't work.
And just hits the mage. I think Alsame might very well be out at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a real conversation we can start having. And like his time situation, he's at 16 minutes after 6 turns. That's really bad.
Yeah, really. I feel like tournament nerves are coming into this.
And it's not like really he's gonna play the next turns faster, so he needs to. The way he's playing, using his time, he's just saying that the game's gonna end by turn 12.
Right, how does Sedge get out of this? 98% health Sedge. What is he going to do? Trebuchet isn't in range of anything, so You know, something that would have been really weird and janky but might have worked is Trebuchet moves into a position where it can get killed but forces the knight to kill it, because then it keeps the rest of these units alive.
Yeah, but that's a really bad trade, and you're not killing Sedge. Oh yeah, also right now a dragon would be killer. Because the only mage on the whole field from Alsame is gonna die.
Yep.
And everything is gonna get like wrecked by the dragon. On the whole map.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to skip builds to make it happen either.
Like that's just like if you build the dragon, it's crushing. Like almost resignable. It'll probably resign. Oh, he does it. He sees the power of the dragon. So I think like we're probably gonna see it resign in a few turns.
Yeah.
Like
possibly even this turn.
yeah, maybe. Like in the north, he just has to retreat a little bit with like his mage, just to make sure he can heal next turn.
Even brings the knight down.
That's good because the spear went north, so it kind of covered any decaps there. But now you just overwhelm this. Like Ragna might even be dead, or it'll be like very hard to defend her. Just because like Sedge's army's over there, and have
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
just doing the captures, right? So like, let's have a
yeah,
look.
all the right stuff.
Moves back. Doesn't even
Playing
heal
this
off the
really well.
village, because that's gonna force the spear to be used to hit it if he wants to decap it.
No, he doesn't heal off the village because he doesn't have any money. And
Oh,
if he
that is
heals
also a very good
anything,
point.
you have to skip the build.
That is one thing you don't always consider is whether you have money to actually reinforce or not. The Ragna
One of the
can.
things. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Ragna can escape here, but it won't be pretty.
Yeah, you can like cover her. You could like move her to the forest, put her like a barge, then cover another side maybe.
But the rest of this army just comes crashing down on her, so
Well, it comes crashing down on all the other units. So
yeah.
defend Ragna and your army kind of. The income is crushing. Like right now, Sedgehun has an income lead, and it's only gonna get worse. Like there's 2 villages that are gonna go down. He doesn't really have the time to get this corner village. Sedgehun probably will be able to pick it up with like with the balloon and like a sword fairy. But it probably won't even come down to that. Like, the game's gonna end much faster. Because you can't play without any anti-air against the dragon. And then your trap is looking a bit silly. Then it's gonna be retreating and running away.
You can't even get the trap up to like the north side. Like
The
you
barge
could,
is too far.
yeah, you could get it to the above the forest, but then it's just kind of retreating and villages are gonna go down.
Plus, I don't know if Ragna you can really protect her. Maybe if you throw away your whole army, you can save Ragna and keep and send the trap up. Because if you send the trap up, you don't have the barge as a block anymore.
And there's also this headquarters is wide open right now. Like you could see a knight get lined up for next turn. I don't think he has like another follow up, but he can start being in a position where he can threaten headquarters.
Yeah. Yeah, like a knight crit threaten and a dragon. And again, Alsame doesn't have much that he can really combat all the threats. Just a bit too much.
Yeah, Trebuchet is a good unit, but you know you need an army in front of it. or it needs to have like some really good terrain positioning.
And I see people in chat are talking about like importance of prep and deciding this game. I don't think it's really like a prep. If you go like turn 4 treb, you need something prepared because that doesn't work so easy.
I think in this instance, like when you talk about prep, just understanding how to use the barges early, like you should play a game on it before you play it
Yeah.
in tournament. So like,
And it's guaranteed he played at least one game because of the round 2
oh, but this
or
map
round
was
3.
changed before that, or between those.
Yeah, but it's around the same. Like anything you figure out then it like, applies now. Especially they both went vertical battle. It's just less effective. Like I think it's more like understanding the map. Like yeah, if you prepare a lot on them, if you play a map a lot, you understand how it flows. You know what units are good. You know, like a few things maybe to avoid because it's less comfortable. What villages are maybe a bit more important. Like some common things you can try. But it's very possible to like play a map well without a ton of prep. But if you go for like a very like strategy that's more like demanding and needs more like a early treb, then you really have to show something for that. So yeah, if you're not prepared and you just kind of do it off the cuff, it won't turn out so well.
And given took 2.5 minutes to decide to move a dog forward.
Yeah, given how much time he's using, I think he agrees with us that this is a really bad position. Because he just doesn't really know what to do. Kind of like last game after his HQ push didn't really work out.
Okay, we're seeing some movement out of him, but
I don't know if this is like worth it. Like right now, you don't need the village, and even if you get the village, you're not gonna keep it. The dragon can always decap it. Like you want to kind of get the treb to safety, maybe, or protect Ragna.
and I think we've had some people come in like while we're in the middle of like watching this. Ragna does not have groove, not even close.
Yeah, 60%.
This balloon now has units in it. I don't know what that's going to do.
I think he's just gonna send it south because he realizes the situation is a bit dire. But the other problem with sending the sword is it's one less unit on the main battlefield. Like, I don't know if you can even cover Ragna now. You can probably only like cover with the spear and the sword. And like I guess if you sacrifice those, you can maybe do something. But then you need something to cover the treb. Unless you just want to give it away.
There is kind of a fortified position the treb could go. But I don't know if he's going to go for it.
Puts it there, he still needs something to in front to block. Which means it's one less unit that doesn't cover Ragna. And that means you have access to 3 sides. And maybe even 4 by killing the last unit.
So actually something that could happen here. Ragna runs up, hits the knight. Oh my god, we have like less than 9 minutes left.
If you hit the knight, I think you're very dead. Like, you're getting hit on 4 sides, probably.
Sword could run to the forest to cover that. The 5 health one can like run and block as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
And then Trebuchet covers if that sword moves to the forest. So
But I guess worst case scenario, Sedgehun just kind of mops up mops up the 2 villages, gets his dragon in position.
Plays for time.
Well, he can just play the game, and he's playing for time.
Yeah.
Like the way Alsame manages his time, you don't have to play the clock, and you're automatically playing the clock because he just uses way too much time, and it's not really getting him like better positions. Like he used a lot of time in the opening, or a good amount of time in the opening last game, and he used a good amount this game, but it's getting him much worse results.
Ragna retreats to that forest. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happens here. Like, is there lethal here?
This depends what he does. Could cover 2 sides with a sword and a spear, and then he's probably fine. But then his treb dies, or gets.
Yeah, because I think both of these swords can crit Ragna and suicide off of it.
Yeah, definitely.
The dragon is in range to kill the sword underneath Ragna, so that opens up another attack route.
That's useful. I really don't like this sword movements. This is like, he needs it in a few places, and that's not okay. Now Ragnar's dead.
Yeah, Ragna's very dead at this point. Sedgehun,
It's just 4 sides, suicides. You have everything.
Yeah, and these are crit suicides as well,
Yeah.
so...
And it's like you're hitting her with heavy units. You're hitting her with Sedge, 2 knights, like a mage. So I guess we can say congratulations to Sedgehun.
Yeah, unless he...
there's no way you missed this lethal.
I mean, that said, like, there was a bunch of stuff that happened last game that I would have said would never happen, so...
Well, no, it's not as like, this is just like clearly lethal. There's no miss. It's like, if you miss this, you don't deserve to be in the tournament.
That's true. So we're gonna see. And he has a good, like, 10-minute lead advantage, so he can really, like, he can do all the calculations he wants. I think both the sword crits are guaranteed suicide. Because they're both on the lower end of their health value as well, so...
Besides just figuring out the best way to style. Because he likes to do that when possible.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't have groove yet. If he kills a unit with Sedge, he'll have groove. I do kind of just want him to finish it out though. Like, I don't want him to risk anything on just trying to style.
Yeah, you shouldn't prolong the game to style. But then he did do that against Data Glove.
Yeah, 1 sword, 2 sword. Sedge hits from the north.
Yeah, and Dragon kills sword, knight.
Yeah, knight's hit.
And then like...
And then, like, I guess mage is there as well.
Yeah.
Can the mage reach?
Actually maybe you can't use the mage, but...
Yeah, you can only hit on 3 sides. Ooh.
What's that? Is he not going for lethal? Like, he can still definitely go for it. But that's a weird thing to do if you're going for lethal. Like, maybe he wants to do it just to let the mage get easier access. Like, I would be really surprised if he doesn't see lethal here.
I guess the dog can kill the sword, so...
Yeah, you have stuff that's so... And the mage could also kill the sword.
I wonder if there's some weird jank thing where he heals, like, the 6th health sword? and that dies on counter attack.
He could heal both swords.
No, they'd be a
think.
bit too high. 88% wouldn't die on counter attack. Because the crit's a little too strong.
Oh yeah, yeah, crit's too strong.
Yeah. The difference here is like the dragon is just further forward.
I guess he's not. Oh, he's
Oh.
going for it.
Here we see. So the first one does 9%. Second hit does 9% again. Ragna now has groove. Sedge hits from left. Actually, that doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
And 2 night
Yeah.
hits. Right, first one, 30%. Yeah.
GG.
GG.
Congratulations
Sedgehun
to
takes it.
Sedgehun. He really like dominated these last 2 games. Alsame not playing his best.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely opportunities for Alsame to win game 2 as well. But game
Yeah,
3...
game 2, like HQ was a bit suspect, but
Yeah, like Sedge overextended, but... And made mistakes, but yeah, like... Games... I don't know what was going on this game.
yeah, this game was like Sedgehun played well, and Alsame just kind of gave it to him. Like even this last situation, like did Alsame not see that it's gonna be lethal? Because I think it's pretty clear it is. And then, if so, then what were the other moves? So I guess we have our matches now for top 8. It's gonna be me versus Sneaky and Sedgehun versus TF.
Yes, that is correct. So... And then the winners of those play, so... You could very well be facing Sedgehun.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict right now that I'm gonna rematch against Sedgehun.
Oh, but yeah, that was a fun set. It was a weird one, but
Yeah, it was a fun game, fun set.